Hey, Tate here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for S&P 500. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave Theory and provide multiple scenarios price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Today we're going to be starting around the counts around from the 4300 highs, and tomorrow we're going to be diving into the higher time frame structures, which includes of course these. So for this one, we were looking at this kind of count where we had this as a potential WXYXZ. And in here, we had the potential where we had also this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the start of the wave Z. So this would be a 5-way structure of an zigzag wave or zigzag structure. Then we would be looking for a 3-way pullback and a continuation. Now, this again was only possible on NASDAQ and S&P 500. On Russell 2000 and Dow Jones, that was no longer possible because these new structures over here had already taken out these highs. I had not taken that into consideration before and did not actually look at those. I was just tracking NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So again, I don't think that is going to be that likely of a scenario at all. So in my mind, this has to be done here with the very ugly Z wave, or we have this as that impulse wave structure as the other scenario. 5 waves again looks very good here. However, we have the other issues on the higher time frame counts with this, if this is going to be the case. Now, again, not getting too sidetracked on these higher time frames, we're just going to be diving into this smaller time frame structures over here, and we're going to be talking about these higher time frame tomorrow. Now, let's start with the 5-minute time frame, and again looking at the structures from these lows around $3,500. Since then we had 3 different ideas. One of them was saying that we had an A wave, B wave and C wave, creating a 5-3-5 or a zigzag pattern. In the wave B we would have an expanded flat structure which extended right to the 2.618 extension, which is again the maximum we want to see. Since then, again, we had a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into 3rd, 4th, and 5th of that C wave. C wave did not reach the targets that we had here of around 3,800 to 3,884. Again, that would be giving us more confidence that this indeed was a C wave structure. However, at the moment, it does not fit into the very normal extension targets, but it did hit the minimum target of that 0.618. Extension of this A wave pivoted from the wave B, so it is valid still. Since the highs that we had here, we were looking for a drop downwards as either creating a 3-way structure again to connect up higher as a connector here, or we would be just continuing to the downside with some other higher time frame count. But again, those are not the main things that I was looking for. So here we had the idea of having this as a potential 5-way coming down. It does not look like it. We did break this channel here, although it did really respect this channel overall. But I don't think this is that likely of a scenario, just because again the C wave is that small. Now then we had the other scenario in which we would have this as again that A wave, looking for 3-way structure in here, 3 ways in here, and then 3-way structure in here. How I would be labeling that would be A, 3-way structure, and then C. So A, B, and C overall. I do feel like that is the best structure, and in the middle we would have this running flat structure. I don't think this is again that likely. Wave Y is, of course, wave Y did hit the 1-to-1 extension here of this W wave, pivoted from the X wave downwards, but again it did not really hit to nothing else. We did not hit the 382, which would make it a bit more likely to be the scenario. If this was to be the case, I definitely would have liked it to get to the 0.5 here, where we would have 1.382 extension of this wave W, pivoted again from the X wave. So we would have a bit more confidence. Or the golden pocket again would take out the liquidity down here. But again, for that we probably would have other scenarios as well. But although this is still possible, I don't think this is the likeliest case. Instead, I do think that we have the likeliest case being the bullish account. This would fit into the idea we had on higher time frame of saying this would be a very large ABC structure coming upwards now, and this would be the start of that whole thing. We had also the possibility last time where we would have this as some kind of diagonal. However, again, we had the channel here where we were looking into the possibility of having this as a contracting diagonal. However, we have already gone so far here that it does not make any sense anymore. So at the moment, I do think that the 1-2-1-2 scenario is the best looking. In here, we did go beyond the golden pocket retracement of this wave 1 here, but we did not reach the 786 before launching up higher, so it is still bullish of a structure. In here again, I would be labeling this the very same way as I mentioned earlier, as an ABC. So A, B, and C, like so. And let's just label it in here. And this was going to be that expanded flat. So expectation now would be that we would be going higher. However, at the moment, it does look like it is kind of three-way structures in this very small time frames. So I'm not quite sure what this is building up. Is it possible that we're going to be getting some kind of diagonal in here, where this would be a wave 1 and this would be wave 2? Of course, it is possible. However, again, we have already extended quite far out, even beyond the 1-to-1. So I do feel like we might be getting some kind of expanded structure, and with that kept in mind, and not really favoring any expanded diagonals or expanded structures anyway in these scenarios, I don't think that is the likeliest case. I feel like we just need to be waiting for this to be coming down a bit. Is it possible that this was a 5-way structure in here, very small 4 here? Yeah, I guess it could be possible. On RSI, these two peaks are still the highest, so for whatever scenario, I do feel like and hope that this high on RSI on smaller time frames at least should be taken out, so we can have a proper third wave, third of third, fourth and a fifth, and then we would be looking for a drop down to create this another smaller 1-2, and at that point again, that would be a great area to look for buys, looking for that divergence here wherever it happens, again expecting these highs on RSI to be taken over, and then that drop downwards, and again then going in on the 38.2%, 50%, and the golden pocket. Those would be the areas I would be looking at the most. So again, if we are just looking at this, 38.5 and the golden pocket. Of course, that is going to be depending on how high this whole structure is going to go. We don't know of that yet. Is it possible that this indeed was some kind of connector wave like this? Of course, it is possible. However, we do have that divergence here already in place. So even for a three-way structure, we don't expect a divergence to happen. It is possible that it happens on an ABC structure. However, this definitely feels more like a ABC in itself already, and on higher time frame WXYs, that is not something that we expect, this divergence. So that's why I do think that we are indeed in a bullish move at the moment higher. And yeah, if you're not in here or in this trade upwards yet, like I'm not, I'm looking for that retracement and then looking for placements, long place upwards, and seeing how far we can get these upwards. But we'll talk about the higher time frame structure tomorrow, and we'll see what we're expecting there. But if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.